Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle Griffiths, and I want to welcome you to this webinar. We are really excited here at Guided Intelligence, and I want to help you have the best experience possible. We are live streaming on Zoom tonight to an international audience. We are also live streaming to an international audience on YouTube. For your best experience, take a little bit of time now and adjust your Zoom settings. You'll notice that there's a view option that's available to you. And what you would like to do is to set that view option up to where you can maximize the screen for your best viewing pleasure. Now, if you want, please mute your microphone on your devices. We don't want the background noises to interfere with other people that will be listening to the presentation tonight. If you want to turn your camera on so that we can see you in the gallery, that's fine, but you don't have to. It's totally up to you. We're also have our chat board open in the Zoom meeting. So if you want to open up chat so that you can chat to us, any questions or comments that you happen to have during the webinar tonight, you're more than welcome to do that. We've got people that will handle that for you. Okay, now before I get started, to help you have the best possible experience, I want to go through a couple of rules that we would like you to have. Remember to be early to every webinar, because once the webinar starts, we do have limited seats, and so you might not be able to get in, and you want to attend this webinar Monday through Friday. We're also going to ask you, as I mentioned earlier, mute that microphone for the background noises. Set aside 90 minutes and make sure that you don't have distractions during that 90 minutes. We want to make sure that you can pay attention to everything that Malcolm is saying. And if you've got little ones running around, if it's possible, if you can have something set up for them to do before the meeting starts, that would be great. If you've got a private room someplace that you can go to listen to the webinar, that would be even better. We're going to ask that you go ahead and bring in a journal. If you don't have a journal, a notepad, and something to write with so that you can write down all the key points that Malcolm will be discussing during the week. We also want you to have an open mind. Now, when we say have an open mind, we want you to let go of any preconceived notions that you may have about some of the things that Malcolm will be discussing during the meeting. Now, before we get started, I've got a little breathing exercise I want everybody to do to help wake yourself up, particularly those of us that are on the Eastern Seaboard. It is 9 o'clock in the evening, and I understand that. So let me just tell you what I want you to do first. I'm going to have you breathe in, and you're going to breathe in real deep. You're going to fill your chest up as strong as you can get it, and you're going to hold it, and you're going to squeeze it, and then you're going to breathe it all out. All right, so get ready to do that on 3. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in clean energy, new energy, fresh energy. Fill up your lungs, squeeze it, hold it, hold it. Breathe out the old energy, the stillness of the day, all of the day's worries. Breathe it all the way out. Squeeze your lungs out. Get all that there out. All right, breathe it in again. Hold it, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, hold it. It's all right if you're getting a little dizzy. That's the whole point of it. And breathe out and breathe it all out. And if you're getting a little lightheaded, that's okay, because what's happening is we're getting fresh oxygen up into that brain so that we can be focused. Okay, it is my extreme pleasure to talk about Malcolm Nair. He had a astonishing tragic event that happened to him, and I'm going to let him explain that when I bring him on here in a minute. That gave him a total new perspective on life, and from that, he developed the programs that hold it, bring it in, bring it in, on life. And from that, he developed the programs that
Can you guys hear me there?
Yep, I can hear you.
We can hear you, Malcolm. There's a small delay.
All right, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, my apologies. My audio wasn't working when I was sharing my screen, so let me try that again. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yep,
Okay, perfect. Can you see the slide?
yep.
All right, fantastic. Okay, I hope everybody is feeling good, feeling great, and I hope everybody is feeling good energy. I know it's the evening, but we need everybody to raise their frequency right now. So, what I'm gonna do, all right, thank you for your patience. So, my name is Malcolm Nair, and I want to share a story with you. Um, in 2010, I had a near-death experience. I I died. I hit a house going 100 kilometers an hour. I was living an unconscious life, and the reason actually right now that it sounds kind of weird because I couldn't hear anything. My audio stopped working, just so you guys understand. My audio wasn't working. I couldn't hear anything Kyle was saying, so I couldn't get with your guys' flow. So my apologies. Um, okay, so that being said, I want you guys to be open to everything and attached to nothing. I want you guys to drop your ego. I want you to surrender and let go of your pride. This is not for me. This is for you guys. So Source can enter and I can be that guidance that you guys are here for, okay? So a little bit about me and my my experience. In 2010, um, I was drinking and driving. I was living an unconscious life, and I ended up hitting a house going 100 kilometers an hour. As soon as I hit that house, I ejected out of my vehicle and I died. And the last thing I remember is being outside of my body and feeling my body being drugged from the driver's seat to the passenger side. So my body was found on the passenger side. Next thing you know, I was hovering over my body and the ambulance shows up. And I can hear and feel and see everything. They were trying to revive me. They're telling each other that they're losing me, that I'm losing too much blood. Um, so they're trying to get me to the hospital. When I get to the hospital, I'm hovering over my body. And I can see everything and I can hear everyone's prayers. I can hear phone calls and everyone receiving the phone call, you know, that your son, got in a car accident, and then one phone call after the other. I can sense everything. And I was so connected to source, and I can hear and feel everything. I can literally be a part of everyone's conversations. So at this point, I'm going through a realization of, life flashing before my eyes. How was I living my life before that? I was living unconsciously. I was living in resentment, living in fear, living in pain, living in suffering, blame. I was living a victim mindset. And I was asked, what do I want to do? And I had to decide in that moment when my life flashed before my eyes, because my body left the physical realm. My body left the physical world, so I was not here anymore. I was beyond time and space. And when I was up there, as my body surrendered from earth and floated away, I entered this tunnel, this like funnel, and it sucked me up. I'm sharing this experience with you guys because we're not going to get to take anything with us. We're all going to die one day. All our coulda, shoulda, wouldas are going to be trapped inside. And that's what happened to me. I said I could have, and I would have, or I should have, when my spirit said, you should have done this better, you could have done this, you could have made it there, you could have fixed this relationship, you're lying, you're abusive, you're aggressive, you're angry, you're bitter, you're negative, you were rude to that person. All of this is going to happen to us. We're going to have to face all of this, and it's going to flash before us, and we're going to realize, what life are we living? Are we living to our truest potential? Are we living as our authentic self? And that was profound for me when it was asked. Source asked me that. And I said, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to leave. I wanted to fix everything. I wanted to change everything. And I was at, are you sure? And I had to decide. So you guys have to decide. We have to decide. How sure are you about changing your life's direction? How sure and positive are you that you don't want to die with your music inside? You don't want to die with your could haves, would haves, should haves, the mistakes, the self-sabotage, the negative attitude, the ego mind, the fear, the depression, the anxiety, the overwhelming thoughts. We can fix all this and we can change all this. And we're going to go through all of this. When I was granted to come back, when I was welcomed back, I was allowed to come back. I was back in this reptilian mind, back in this physical realm, back in this world that we live in. And I had to face the reality of life. I went through contemplation of suicide, and it wasn't easy. I was living in fear and anxiety and stress, and I still had to come back to this world and deal with my angers inside, deal with the stress, deal with the scarcity mindset. I had such a scarcity mindset. I was self-sabotaging myself every day. I said, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm too hairy, and I need to, lose weight, or I'm not good enough, or, why don't you just kill yourself? I was negative. One thing led after another. My partner left me with my kid, because I was a negative, toxic person. I had to go through so much suffering in the physical world that we all go through. I was diagnosed with short-term memory loss, brain damage. I had bleeding in my brain. My right lung collapsed. I broke my leg. I had spinal cord injury. I had severe muscle tearage and nerve damage. And what I did was to walk out of that hospital quick was the power of the mind, which I'm going to get to, the power of the mind and people telling you you're not good enough, telling you that you'll never amount to anything, telling you that you're never going to walk the same, talk the same. You're going to be you know what I'm saying? People telling us all these false narratives, all these paradigms in the world. So coming to wanting to commit suicide, what I decided to do was I actually decided to choose my life the right way over death the wrong way. So instead of opting out and choosing to pop all those pills that they put me on, all those medications, all those pharmaceuticals, all the things they said I have to be on, blood thinners, painkillers, sleeping pills, anxiety pills, antidepressants. I said, if I'm going to live life the right way, that I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to choose to live and sacrifice to die. So I emptied everything. I was addicted to smoking cigarettes. I emptied that down the toilet, all my pills, everything. And yes, I thought, if I stop taking all these medications, am I going to die? What's going to happen? But I said, instead of hanging myself on that tree and taking all these pills, something inside of us, something inside of me spoke to me. And we all have these whispers that become tainted. Our spirits can become tainted. We're in the physical world. I was still tainted. I still had decisions to make. I still had to decide a lot of things I had to fix in my life. A lot of new decisions. In the span of 6 months getting out of the hospital, I lost my family. I went to jail. I wanted to commit suicide. I was not working for 2 years. So I know what it's like to be depressed. I know what it's like to go through a lot of these feelings that we're going to talk about. I want you guys to understand that, making a decision to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of where you're at right now with your mindset. And just start over again. This boot camp, we're going to start all over again, okay? We're going to teach you the fundamentals, the basics, okay? So I want to move on, and I want to explain to you that it doesn't happen overnight, but I eventually started to listen to my inner voice. And something inside was guiding me, now that I call guided intelligence. And I slowly started to change everything about myself. I started to change the way I speak, my personality. I started to change my personality, my personal reality. So in order to change, you have to see it in your mind first, okay, in order to see it in reality. You have to believe it, conceive it, then walk into that reality and live it in existence. And that's what I did, and it took baby steps for me to create this program. This didn't happen overnight. It's like 10 years in the making. And I'm so proud and so excited. And I wish I was there for the whole introduction and stuff, so I could have flowed a little bit better. But this program is created strategically for you guys. I want you to just enjoy. I I want you to understand that we're going to cover emotional detachment. We're going to go over acceptance, release work, emotional attachments, and releasing blockages. Everything has specific details to it. So let's go there. Okay. Kyle, can you jump on real quick?
Yes, I can, Malcolm.
Thank you.
What I would like you to do is talk about what happens to everybody right now. They're hearing this story. You died, you made the choice, and you came back. And so now you're going to teach everybody what you put together, what this program is, so that they can connect the source. But before they can do that, they have to kind of understand what's going on in their own mind. You and I had a lengthy discussion one day about the differences about the mind, the working mind, and our the ego mind, and how the ego mind creates emotions. And often those emotions will affect our mind. So, if you would, I would like you to discuss with people what ego is, what mind is, and how ego and mind creates the emotional energy that we're going to show to those people that are around us, which manifests what's happening in the now for them.
All right. I want you to explain and share your story of how you articulated the example that I gave you, what you were going through. Give a real life example. Then I'm going to
Sure,
talk a little bit about the subconscious mind, and I'm going to go into this a little bit better. But I want you to explain the experience
sure,
that you had from our coaching.
not a problem. Often what happens to us when we are in a workplace or around our family or around friends, the things that we worry about are, what do we look like? How are we coming across? And at that same time, we have something that's on our mind. Our mind is thinking through whatever the conversation's supposed to be. But if we become uncomfortable with ourselves, or if someone shows us hostility, it's hard for us to let go and realize that there is a piece of awareness that's inside of us, because we get caught up, we get trapped inside of our head, we get trapped inside of our emotions. And next thing we know, we have an event that's propelling out of control. We're in a fight, or we're being abused, or we are abusing someone. you know, how does someone find that peace of mind, that piece of space that's inside of them when they have their ego and their mind controlling the situation that they're in? And so you were sharing with me just exactly what ego was. And often what will happen is that when we respond to somebody, it's really our ego trying to protect ourselves. And so we're not even adhering or paying attention to what the words are that we're using.
Right. So there are there are so many forms of ego, and and there are so many stressors in life, and people don't know how to regulate their emotions. And what I would say to the ego and the mind is, you have to differentiate what is the mind, the conscious mind, versus the awareness. Okay? So the ego mind is built up memories of the past. Okay? It is subconscious paradigms that have been programmed and instilled in us our entire lives, generation after generation. Our parents, our grandparents, society, doctors, government, schools. And that's the part of our mind that's been programmed into our subconscious. And our ego is articulating all the time and using that perception to overcome the mind. And that's why we have this monkey mind. That's why we have these washing machines. That's why we self-sabotage. So what I would say to anybody who is suffering with ego or self-sabotage or doubt is you have to sit in that silence and have your ego surrender to the awareness and understand what the awareness is. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not the memories of your past. Okay? So if we are not our emotions and we are not our thoughts, what are we really? We're unfolding consciousness. We're creating realities as we speak. We can create thought forms out of thin air. We can think of pain. We can think of cheating. We can think of someone saying something or an argument, and we can create thoughts and feelings and emotions. So that being said, when we move through life, when we maneuver through life, we're not using our rational awareness. We're not being aware. We're using our subconscious programs, and we're allowing our ego to make the decisions every day. Okay, so we have to understand, the difference between the ego mind and who we truly are and what we truly are. And we're going to go through some exercises. I'm going to be doing some exercises with you guys. I have a surprise one coming up actually real quick here. And then on day 3 or day 4, I have a mirror talk. And I want everybody to have their mirrors on that day, because we are going to discover our fraudulence. We're going to figure out what is really going on and who we really are and what we really are. Are we really what we've been portraying ourselves as? And you are going to find out that you've been living this lie, this ego mind. True awareness and true reprogramming of the subconscious mind should happen on a daily basis. Okay? Now, Kyle, I want you to extract some more out of me if you want people to understand this a little bit deeper before I move on. But I work really well through our
conversations and discussions. Why don't you slip over to the next slide for a minute?
Okay.
Because what I want you to do is to talk about living a fraudulent life and the fraudulence. Because if someone doesn't realize that they, for people to hear that there's life after death is one thing. To try to perceive what do they do now that they're in a physical form, we have to understand the fraudulence that we've had in our lives and understand why that ego and mind creates that fraudulence. You touched a little bit on it, but I would like you to drill down a little deeper. Okay. For example, explain to us some of what your experiences were before you died, who you were. And then since you've come back, and thank you for doing that, since you came back, how did that experience help you to let go of the fraudulence that you were living?
Perfect. Living that fraudulent life. Look, the universe, God doesn't know the difference between what we want and what we need. God doesn't know the difference between what we want that's negative or what we want that's positive. It will come to us. And if we are living an unconscious life, like I was, a fraudulent life, a life of living, being frustrated, feeling undesirable, lacking, feeling dismissed in life, unfulfilled. We can be fulfilled or living being half fulfilled. And I want to touch on that after this, but your life, you're manifesting your life. You created your reality. I created my reality. Yes, there were circumstances I had to maneuver and make decisions and make choices to get to where I was going. But in fact, I made those choices and decisions to put me where I was. And every decision that I made in my life, when I was angry, when I was upset, when I was letting my mind override my subconscious, when I was letting my mind fill me up with all this feeling comfortable, feeling uncomfortable, feeling sick, and feeling tired and stressed, and lying to people, cheating, feeling insecure. I was manifesting more scarcity, more doubt, more of that reality in life. People reciprocated that energy. I wasn't getting hired in some places. I wasn't getting jobs that I wanted. I wasn't getting the raise that I wanted. I wasn't being offered my expectations, what I deserved. Because of all of these programs in my mind, I didn't know how to release it. So I was attracting more of like things, more of the things that I didn't want. So the more you think of the things you want, and if the things you want are things you don't want, like, oh, I don't want to be broke anymore. I don't want to be stressed anymore. I don't want these kids to eat my head anymore. You get what you want and you get what you don't want. You have to be very specific. So you have to clear your mind, you have to empty your mind, you have to do the release work. Look, we're going to do all the exercises throughout this boot camp to get you to a level of awareness, a level of reprogramming your subconscious mind so you can walk through life in harmony, zen, and peace and start to manifest backwards by releasing everything. So everything you want, you hold in your hands. The secret to the secret, you're already holding it. You're already holding the key, and I'm going to teach you how to use that key so you can attract everything that you truly want, not what you don't want. You don't want more of lack, more of feeling undesired, more feeling unsatisfied. You can name it yourself. Whatever you guys are feeling, whatever you're going through in your life, emotions, family traumas, not feeling enough, giving everything up to everybody else, catering to the world outside of yourself, but not yourself, putting everything before you, thinking that you were being fulfilled and happy and you're doing a service to source, but you're really not truly happy because you're just catering to everything, thinking you're doing something. We're going to talk about all that, but this fraudulent life that we're living is fixable and it can be changed. I hope I covered it. If you want to be specific and you want me to get there, keep digging, keep picking, poking at me, because I love how contradictions, and when we get to our Q&As, I want people to tell me, challenge me. I can only do as much as I'm reciprocating the energy right now, right? I wish I can get into the minds of everybody to fix everything. I work well one-on-one, so this is going to be interesting, but try to poke my brain a little bit more.
So to hear what you're saying then to all of us is if we continue to live trapped inside of our minds, we're going to end up having a fraudulent life. And that's what you discovered when you died, because you were asking yourself that you wish you could have done something, you should have done something, and you would do things differently. So you've come back and now you're doing things differently. You
So,
discovered a program, and this program is what you're getting ready to share with everyone. So let's talk about surrendering. If we
so
want to leave that fraudulent life, Malcolm, we have to surrender that fraudulent life.
right, okay. So when we are ready to make a decision, when we are ready to truly sacrifice and make a choice, it's really simple. What I did was that moment that when I made a decision to choose life the right way and sacrifice all the wrongs that I didn't want to live, the fraudulent life, being told that I'm diagnosed with brain damage, being told I'll never walk the same, being told that my muscle damage is so severe I'll never heal the same, I'll never talk the same. I didn't want to believe that. What I did is I reprogrammed that narrative, and I said that I sacrifice my life to not live that fraudulent lifestyle, to not fall into the trap of this matrix, to society, to the false narratives. And I believe that I can make it. I believe that I can change. I believe that I can prosper. I believe it, right? So when you start doing this, Kyle, what happens is you start to send new signals, new transmitters to your brain, to your left brain and your right brain. New neurons start to rewire and fire. So on a constant day-to-day basis, I changed and I said, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna take it in baby steps. So what you got to do is, right now, this is what we're going to do first. The first step is I want everybody to do this for me right now. Are you paying attention to the chat box there? I don't know who's saying what. It's kind of distracting, but
We are.
okay, perfect. So what I want everybody to do, okay? I want everybody, you see how it said let it go? Here's a quick exercise that I want everybody to do. I want everybody to close their eyes right now. I want everybody, including yourself, to close your eyes right now. And I want you to picture everything that you only know that you're going through. All the pain, all the suffering, all the anger, all the stress, all the lack, or all the achievements, all the things you want to do. I want you to raise your vibration by feeling grateful for something in your life right now. Whatever makes you happy, whatever puts a smile on your face, whether it's the fact that we can have compassion for other people in the world that don't have what you have, that you have 2 feet, you can walk. You can walk to the kitchen, you can make a tea, make a coffee. The fact that you have that freedom, that free will, free choice to do what you can do in life, whether it's your child, whether it's your partner, whether it's that cup of tea or your job, whatever makes you happy. What I want you to do is take that feeling and squeeze that feeling, send that vibration up to your mind. Breathe that in and smile and be grateful for what you have. Now what we're going to do is keep your eyes closed. I'm going to take you into this guided, simple technique, okay? Is no matter who you think deserves it or doesn't deserve it, all of the people who have let you down, all of the enemies, anybody, your father, your mother, your husband, your boyfriend, your boss, your ex-employers, have that image in your mind. Once you know this exercise, you could do it to whoever, but pick that one person that has done you wrong, an enemy, someone from the past. It could be anybody. Once you have that picture in your mind, once you know, don't think that person deserves it or doesn't deserve it. Just pick that person, because you deserve it. You deserve to release this. And what I want you to do is I want you to visualize this love, the love that you have in your heart for the gratitude that you have raised your vibrational frequency to, the gratitude, the love, the appreciation of life, something that makes you happy. Bring that happiness into your thought right now. Whether you want to send a thought beam to them or a heartfelt love signal. Like, remember Care Bears where they would send that signal like a beam of light? I want you to visualize that you have this beam, this love, or this thought process, this frequency. And I want you to send this frequency of love and forgiveness to the person that is slowing you down in life, that is negative, that did you wrong, an enemy, somebody that has destroyed a part of your peace. And don't worry about doing it for them. You're doing this for you. I want you to send this love of forgiveness and send it to them. Try to send this forgiveness and this love to them as a beam of light until they receive it and they're shocked in this vision. Why are you sending this to me? I'm sending this to you to release it out of me. I don't deserve to hold this weight on me anymore. So I forgive you. I let you go. I give you the forgiveness. I give that energy, that love that I have in my life, send it to them. Send it to them. Let them receive it. And do that to each and every person in your life. Because what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to let it go. True redemption is when you don't condemn somebody else. True redeeming, when you want to redeem yourself, this is how we do it. We have to send that love. We have to forgive. This is how we let it go. Okay, I'm going to be giving you guys a PDF document on the steps of this, but I wanted you guys to just understand the first step is you have to empower yourself. You have to be able to forgive the people that hate you and you've hated. You have to let go of that hate. Raise your vibration to that love. It's baby steps. We're not going to jump right in on the first day. We have a lot more to go through, but the first little steps that I did before getting to true surrendering was, okay, I have to just do this to do this. I have to live my life to live my life. I have to carry on to achieve. So you have to let it go. You have to forgive the people who have done you wrong, your enemies, any childhood past traumas, which we're going to do inner child release work in my next program. But what I want you guys to understand is this is how you start to live truly and honestly to yourself. Is if you can swallow your pride, drop your ego, and surrender to yourself, make the first attempts of being the bigger person in life, and to every day take action steps and to start changing, you're going to start to attract. I'm not covering everything in day one. Yes, I attracted my life differently. I was attracting a bad life. I was creating these cycles and these patterns, and they kept happening. And I was wondering, why does this instance in my life keep happening? Why is it every year on this time I end up in jail? Why is it at this time always a girlfriend leaves me or my partner ends up wanting to leave me? Why? Why does my mind get angry and bitter all the time? Why do I keep having these negative thoughts? Stop. We're going to release it, because the more you create these thoughts, these patterns, you're going to create your reality, and you are calling it into existence. Don't say what you don't want, and don't think about what you don't want. Just do what you got to do in life and start thinking about what you want starting now. Start to achieve the true success, true wealth. You are rich, you were born rich, and you have to believe that you were born rich, because we were breathed life into us. We are not this physical body. We're not this mind. When I died, I realized I was not the mind. I was not the body. It was gone. It was dead. It could have been a vegetable. I was on life support. I didn't want to waste 90 minutes on my near-death experience and the experience of being unplugged and all of that. But I didn't get to take none of that with me. You are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. So learn to understand your emotions. Learn to love and appreciate how you feel. And as we go through the slides, I'm going to teach you the methods and techniques for these exercises. Okay. Did I cover that good enough? I can explain some more there, Kyle.
No, I think you've done well with that. Let's go ahead and move on.
All right. This one is important. Now, when it comes to creating a new reality, I'll share a quick story with you. When I was working in sales, I was about 18 years old, and I was introduced to direct marketing. Door-to-door sales is one of the hardest things to do. And what I discovered was manifestation at that age. What I discovered was creating a reality off of thin air. You know how we create thoughts and sour and bitterness and negativity, and we get emotional states and we create realities? Real things start to happen. We get in arguments, fights, tensions can stir up on the road. Well, if you understand the power of the mind, power of the subconscious mind, let me teach you something here. I visualized in advance, before going to a customer's door, a wonderful lady or a wonderful man opening the door, presenting me and saying, "Oh, come in," and smiling, and me smiling, and me visualizing them offering me drinks and food and saying, "Come on in," and yeah, for sure, I'll give you the bill. And I visualized, I wasn't even at the house. I visualized walking up their driveway, going to the door. I played it all out in my mind. I created this reality. Remember, reality starts up here. It doesn't just happen. You're creating your reality outside. You got to create it up here first for it to happen in reality. So I created these realities, and I started to believe and trust and say, it's possible. I know it. And I had to believe it. So when you speak affirmations into existence, you have to believe it and feel it. You got to believe that you love you. You got to believe that you forgive. You truly forgive. Okay? You forgive yourself. You feel abundant. Positive energy. You got to feel healed. You got to feel healing, true success. And this is what I do on a daily basis. When I got in my car accident, when the doctors told me that I'll never walk the same, I'll never talk the same, I was numb on half of the right hemisphere of my body. I was paralyzed when I woke up. I was paralyzed, and they said, I don't know when this numbness is going to get better. I don't know when this numbness on your tongue, when you're going to talk better. You may never walk the same. This nerve damage is so severe that I could not move my arm. I was torn. I was damaged. I hit a house going 100 kilometers an hour. But I told my mind what to do. I told my mind what to do, what to create. My bones are fusing together. The doctors hated me. The nurses hated me. They wanted me to stay down and create more blood clots. I said no. And I got up and I started walking. I said, my bones are healed. They're healing. This blood that was accumulating in my brain, they had to drill a hole in my skull to get to my brain, and they had to peel this flesh so all the blood would drain out. And I had these massive headaches, but I said that it's healing. I'm healed. So I created all of these realities and I believed it. So when it comes to affirmations, you got to wire and fire your brain every day. If for every negative thought, it is 5 to 10 times more powerful. Write this down. It is 5 to 10 times more powerful than anything positive. One thing negative. So if your mind says, oh, I feel like shit. Let's just say that one thing. You just programmed your mind for self-sabotage for the rest of the day, and tomorrow something else is going to come up. It's going to overlap that. Something else, it's going to layer, become harder and harder. So all these layers that we have to peel off of us, we're going to do. And now I'm at a point where sometimes I'm speaking out loud and my family will be like, what is this guy doing? Like, why is he saying, I love you. I love you. You're positive. I am so positive that when I go outside, people can feel my energy coming off of me. And people see me. I'm driving my car. It's like I'm getting these beams. I have to learn how to shut it down because I get into this receptor mode, this attraction mode. So what you guys can do is for every negative thought, if your mindset said that one negative thing, you have to replace it, okay? And say, I feel great. I feel so great. I feel great. I feel great. I feel so great right now. I am amazing. I feel great, great, great. Right? So for that one negative word, that one negative thought, you got to replace it 10 times just to rewire and fire a new thought pattern, to reprogram your subconscious mind until your brain starts working for you and sitting there and saying, oh, I'm great. Because you don't work for your brain. Your brain works for you. You have to start programming it every day, okay, guys? You don't work for your brain works for you. You have to tell it, I love you, I forgive you. We're abundant. Start to listen to affirmations. Start to listen to positivity podcasts. Start to make these changes every day for what you specifically need in life. These are baby steps. Right? There's no secret to the secret. The only secret is that you have the key and you have not been using it. You have not been opening the doors. You've been closing the doors, and asking how come none are opening. You got to believe that doors are opened. Kyle.
You're doing well. I like that. So now you're talking about, affirmations. So if we have a bunch of negative thoughts or we're not thinking how we should be thinking, show us how we convert our thoughts into positive thoughts, our positive affirmations.
Give me an example of how I taught you. I have many examples, so
looking at our slide here, right? We are to tell ourselves that we love ourselves, we forgive ourselves, we have abundance, we're positive energy, we have success, and we're healing.
Here, right? I got one thing, and then you can ask me again or finish up, but you got me going here, so thank you. Now, when I was living in my other place, okay, this was years ago, I was attracting more of the like things I was thinking. So if our laundry machine started leaking, our dishwasher broke down, our fridge got a big scratch or a dent in it, what do we start thinking? We start thinking, oh gosh, I need a new fridge. Damn it, this damn fridge. Oh shit, this damn leak. I need to get another one. I gotta pay more money for this. Oh crap. We start to speak negative energy to the molecules around us. Everything is energy. So what happens then is the appreciation, the lack of gratitude, we send those signals to the fridge. We send those signals to our car. And we look at other cars. Oh, that's a beautiful car. This damn piece of shit car. Oh, what the heck? Or look at that person. Or jealousy. Or whatever the thought frequency is. And we start to create more of that energy. And what happened to me was, I didn't realize it at first, but in the beginning, my landlord didn't want to get me a new one because of my energy, because of my thoughts, because of my thinking, because of the patterns. And I thought it was their fault. But I'll tell you how it changed. It all changed. Maybe I didn't get approved for the credit to get the new one. Maybe, I couldn't attract. I was negative. So a simple technique, guys, is when something in your home that you have had or that you have, learn to love it. What I did was I did this meditation. I touched the dishwasher, and I taught my whole family to do this. And I said, I love you. I appreciate you. You served me well. And, I just appreciate this house. I appreciate this car. I appreciate this fridge. And I started to appreciate what served me, what I had. Long and behold, when I shifted the way I was thinking, I manifested not only a replacement, but when it was time to move out, the house that I moved into had a brand new titanium. I had a new gas stove. I got a new fridge. And I just started to look back at my life. I got to turn these notifications off. Kyle, you guys are messaging there in the boot camp. What starts to happen is you start to attract better. And when you guys start to shift the energy in your mindset about what you have, even in your life, your children, your family, your husband, your spouse, your wife, and you start to reciprocate their love language. What did they deserve? How should I feel about what I have? You start to attract more of these feelings, and you start to be able to manifest better. And I'm going to teach you guys how to send signals and how to manifest and how to attract. But we got to just start to understand our patterns. This is what day one is all about, is our patterns, to create new rituals, new habits throughout the day and the evening. What are we going to do tonight? What are we going to do tonight different? And I'm going to tell you guys what to do. We're going to send you a document what to do. But these steps, day after day after day, as you start to become aware of your thinking patterns, of how you treat your family, of how you treat the things you have in your house, one day, one way, shape, or form, you're going to get something better. It's going to start to happen when we wire and fire new signals and new thought patterns every day. Start to believe it, to see it. Don't say, oh, well, when I see it, I'll believe it. Start to believe it, to see it. Everything happens twice in this universe, in this world. The first pencil, the first keyboard, the first airplane, the first anything. How did it come into reality? Someone envisioned it. You got to have a vision of your true potential. You have to have a vision of what's possible, of your reality. Do you believe you are the person in this world that deserves something better, something new? Are you the person that deserves a new fridge, a new car? You have to be that person first, because the car is not going to change the woman or the man sitting in that car. You got to change your habits every day. And you got to begin with self-love, forgiveness, understanding your emotions. Never go to sleep with your emotions inside. These are steps. Take note. Never go to sleep feeling resentful, upset, or angry at your children, at your parents, at your husband, at your wife, at your boss. Release it. Do that exercise and go to sleep in peace, and play an affirmation or play a hypnosis or a subconscious reprogramming that you need while you sleep. I have a good one that we're going to send you, but when you start doing this, then when day 2 comes, you're going to learn what to do from the morning, right? We're understanding what to do right now, how to understand who we are, what we are, the way we think, the way we feel. It affects our reality big time. Can I go to the next slide?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's a couple things, Malcolm, that I'm already hearing and I'm seeing in the various boards that are going on right now. So you're talking about, all right, what we're thinking about is changing our physical reality.
Right.
It's manifesting our existence. It's manifesting our reality.
Right.
So you're just telling us about the dishwasher that you have.
Mm-hmm.
How do we phrase things in our minds? How do we take the words that we're saying and change them?
Mm-hmm.
In this slide here, I want you to talk about what the power is of the affirmation and how to form that affirmation in our mind.
I want you guys to hear this first. I forgive myself for harboring negative and destructive thoughts. And I release former employers and associates to God completely, wishing for them all the blessings of life. Whenever I think of any one of them, I will immediately affirm, I have released you. God be with you. I know as I continue to do this that I will meet them in my mind and that there will no longer be any sting present. I claim promotion now, success now, harmony now. Divine law and order is mine now. God's wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. Life is growth and expansion, and I am an open channel for God's riches, which are ever active, ever present, unchanging, and eternal. I give thanks now for the riches within and without, and what I am now decree shall come to pass, and the light of God shall shine on me. You got to emphasize, you got to command and demand your worth, your self-worth. You got to know that you are source. You are source. You're not your mother. You're not an umbilical cord. You're not a stem cell. You're not the blood that's in you, flowing through you. That's just the vessel. We are consciousness. We are spiritual beings living a human experience. We have to understand that connection within, that whisper that we don't listen to. People talk about these whispers. I don't hear it. I never used to hear them. Those reminders. It happens always after the mistake, right? It happens always after we become aggressive or abusive or in a bad relationship, toxic relationship. Then, oh, thanks. Oh, yeah, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. We get the message after. It becomes clear because then we become silent. We sit down and we contemplate on our life. We contemplate. We have to compel ourselves. We have to compel Source that we truly, really mean and feel what we need and what we desire, what we want is our birthright. Am I successful? You have to feel successful. When you go to a party, well, you feel you're hot and sexy, but how come you don't feel successful? When you get out of the club and walk home, you were just a shame. You were just a fraudulent person. You don't walk home all sexy after that. You just did it to pose, right? Are you truly forgiving? Or is it just a fraudulence because you got in a breakup and you want to go and say, oh, I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? I forgive you. Is that true intentions? What is intentions? Is it just the ego? What are your intentions if it's not pure? It's just the ego deciding for you. True awareness is when you sit in that silence before the ego, before the subconscious kicks in. True awareness is when you can sit in that silence and ask God and compel. When I say God, I'm talking about the source that's in you. You are a direct descendant, a connection to source, to the universe. When we go, what do you think we are? Energy, particles dissipate into the universe. Then what is that consciousness? That is the breath that was breathed into us, into the womb, into the belly, into that baby, into the subconscious mind at just a few days or maybe before we were conscious that we wanted to be in that baby. Who are we really? Who are you really? Just wait till we do the exercise in a couple days. Make sure you have a mirror. Make sure you're prepared, you have good energy. And make sure you are listening to the programs and the meditations that we give you. And you take this life seriously. And you don't take it for granted anymore. Anyone can die and come back and slap God in the face and be like, oh, thanks, and then go and make mistakes again and again and again and again. Anybody can. A lot of people have had near-death experiences. Woohoo. But what do you become when you come back? You don't have to die to live better. You don't have to die to reach your successes. You don't have to die to reach your true potential. You can do it now. It's never too late. Don't opt out. You got to compel and direct and command and demand, Kyle. That's what people have to do. They have to really, truly believe what they're saying is what they want. The same way they say, oh, I need a beer tonight. I want to go party. Oh, I can't wait to go to the club. Hey, girls, you guys ready? The way we used to compel ourselves to do the bad things in life, and it used to manifest, oh, yay, we're at that party. Oh, yay, I got that pack of smokes. That's what I used to do. I used to deeply want to get a pack of smokes. I would ask people, no, sorry, no, so can I bum a smoke? No, sorry. I would be walking, desperately nicking, fiending for a cigarette so bad that I kept looking on the floor, kept walking, kicking packs, all empty, wet, all nothing. But I believed that I wanted it so bad. For 45 minutes, I'm walking. I finally kick a pack of smokes, and I'm like, what the heck? I pick it up. brand new pack of smokes. You are manifesting things in life that you need to start understanding. Is it truly your worth? Is it truly your potential?
That's
Right?
great, Malcolm. So, looking at our slide here, I am success, I am forgiving, I am abundance, I am positive energy. We got to start building these affirmations that are inside of us. So let's talk about, if you'll go to the next slide, let's talk about what it is that we need to start doing and what we should do starting right now.
All right. We have to come up with evening habitual rituals, okay? Now, it's very important to create these routines and new patterns to reprogram our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind has been operating our whole life, has been dictating where we are up until today. Can you imagine if you can rewire it all, how we can manifest a new reality? When we're driving and we don't realize we're with the kids, we're enjoying, and then we show up at our destination, if our subconscious is driving us that powerfully, can you imagine how you can start taking direction of that mind? So we have to prepare from when we go to bed. We got to reprogram our subconscious mind the moment we go to bed. So what you need to do is either dedicate and commit today. Commit yourself to using your phone as a tool and not letting your phone use you as a tool. Use your phone as a tool or leave it away and use your Alexa or use your other device to play a subconscious reprogramming before you go to bed. And you have to. I don't know that. My Alexa started talking. You have to start to direct your mind before bed. So when you get to bed and you're getting ready, getting comfortable, you have your hypnosis, your meditation picked out, and you have your phone far away, you're not swiping through, you don't have the light, you're not watching movies and stuff, and you're dedicated to this, you've got to tell your brain what to do while you're subconsciously sleeping. And you got to say, okay, today, Kyle, today, Malcolm, today, Rose, today, Rico, today, whoever is there, whatever your names are, you got to speak to yourself and say, today, this is what we're doing. We're listening to this to reprogram our subconscious mind. We're listening to this to create new patterns and new cycles so I can create a new reality, a new personality. And I'm willing to change and become this new person, this new ideal self, this new self-image of myself, this person I always wanted to be that I never tried to become. And when we go to sleep, and then I want to wake up at 6 a.m. because what I want to do tomorrow morning is this is going to get done, that's going to get done. We're going to do this. And while you're sleeping, remember, you are successful. You are reprogramming your subconscious mind. You are peace, you are joy, and we're looking forward to a brighter day and a better future. And we're excited. And then you go to sleep in your imagination. You know, when we imagine, we think of an imagination. We think of where we are, where we want to go. We think of that place, that ideal place, that paradise. But what I want you guys to do is I want you to sleep from your imagination. So go there, travel there, go to your ideal bedroom, your ideal dream home, go into the mountains, go to the beach, feel, use all your senses, taste, touch, thoughts, your hearing, the feelings, all of it. Feel the wind, taste the water, taste the air. What does it feel like? Does somebody walk by you, and what does it feel like when they touch you? From that imagination, and go to sleep from there, that you are already that reality. You have already created that abundance. You have already created that new you, and fall asleep in that. Okay? That's how you go to sleep.
Okay, we've got a few more minutes. So Malcolm, what I'm going to do is share with the community a couple of resources that they can use tonight to start their reprogramming process. And you
Right.
skip over to the next slide and tell us a little bit about what we're going to be doing tomorrow, perhaps.
Okay, so I want you guys to fall in love with you knowing that you are going to create a new beginning, a new reality. Start living this new way. And for those of you who stick around, you guys get a surprise, a treat. You guys get extra goodies. You know, you guys deserve a passing grade. But if you are using this as just an extra thing, and you don't even know what's going to be tomorrow or the day after, I just recommend that you take this seriously, because tomorrow is a new day, a new beginning. And I want you to feel it. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to love it. And I want you to smile at yourself. I want you to love yourself. I want you to forgive yourself. And before we get to my true exercises that we're going to do, I want you to actually smile in the mirror before you go to bed and believe it in your eyes that you're going to do something new, and you dedicate and you commit yourself to a new life and a new reality. Okay? That's what I want for you guys tonight. I want you guys to take the document. We're going to put it in Telegram. We're going to put it, I don't know, in this chat or wherever Kyle's going to put it. You're going to receive it, and you're going to press play tonight, and you're going to go to sleep. Keep it at a volume that doesn't annoy you. It's going to enter your subconscious mind. Don't worry about distractions. If it's too loud, put it down a little. Don't confuse yourself. Just do that direction as that's playing, and fall asleep in your new imagination, in your new creation. And then I'm excited to see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day, and we're going to cover the morning. It's going to be great. I'm excited. Okay, thank you guys. I'm off, and Kyle will take over. And God bless, and I love you guys.
Thank you so much, Malcolm.
You're welcome.
I just want to summarize up a little bit what Malcolm's been sharing with us tonight. You know, his message is that we don't have to die to figure out and to learn that we really are source. We have souls. We had a soul. We materialized into a physical life. We're here for reasons that maybe we don't understand. But the one thing that Malcolm understood when he came back was he could change who he was, and he could change his environment. So for the last several years, he's been manifesting a whole new life. And the way that he's been doing this is through the power of his thoughts and the power of his heart. So what he's sharing with us is pretty phenomenal in a sense. You know, we all ask ourselves, every person alive, no matter where they are, always has that question. What's going to happen to me when I die? Am I going to exist, or am I not going to exist? And guess what? We're going to exist. So we need to think about a lot from what he's saying. And we need to change the patterns in our lives if what we have now is not serving a positive purpose for us. And that's what this week is going to be about. This week is going to be about getting in touch with the source that's within us. And it starts tonight. So what he's asked us to do is to do a little bit of pre-programming, reprogramming our thoughts, talking positive to ourselves, telling us that we love us and that we forgive us no matter what we've done or what has happened to us. His ideas of thinking about the people that might be causing us harm and releasing them is a very powerful process. And it's one that we're going to delve into a little bit deeper during the week because it's an important part of healing ourselves. What we need to do tonight is let go of our egos, meaning that we need to let go of what we've been thinking thus far, what we've been entrained to think, what our society has been telling us, what our family has been telling us, those people around us that are not been positive to us, what they've been telling us. We need to understand that we are a piece of source, and that source is within us. And because it's within us, we have tremendous power. We have power that we just don't know that we've had because we've never been exposed to us. This is what Malcolm's going to be doing for us. He's going to be teaching us how to expose that power and how to leverage that power. So tonight, it starts by lightening up on ourselves, telling ourselves that we love us when we see us in the mirror, and telling us that we forgive ourselves. I've posted in the Telegram channel 3 YouTube choices for tonight. There are various affirmations and subconscious reprogramming audios that you can listen to while you're sleeping, either through your phone or your tablet. You can pick one of the 3 that you like. I would recommend going out and listening to a few minutes to see which voice you like, which type of background music that you like. And when you put it next to your bed, turn it down so that it's not keeping you awake, so that you can close your eyes and close your mind and drift off into the thought of who you want to become and what you want your environment to become. That's the only thing that you need to do tonight. You just need to love yourself, let yourself go, let yourself understand that the thoughts of who you've been thinking you are is a little different now because you are a piece of the source. You're only in a physical body having a physical existence. And once this life is over with, and once this existence is over with, you're going to go back to where you came from. Let's not waste our lives. Let's take our time and let's turn ourselves around and turn our environment around. Once we can gain this, then we can manifest any type of existence that we want. We can manifest the abundance that we want in our life. We can manifest the success that we want in our life because we will be successful. We will become success. There is no choice but for the universe to manifest success to you if you become success. If you want to become a beaten down ego or a self, whatever it is that you currently have that you don't like, that is what you're going to manifest. So the tools that we get this week, the lessons that we're going to have, which is totally free to us, is life changing. And I hope that tonight, hearing the fact that someone died, realized when they got onto the other side that they were source, and then made the choice to come back and do their life the way that they wanted to do, rattles your cage a little bit because it needs to. We all have things that we would like to be different in our lives. How refreshing is it going to be to actually be able to attain them? That's what this is going to do for you. It's going to teach you how to attain them. Isn't it about time that someone like Malcolm came around in your life? I really appreciate you coming in, particularly those that wanted to show up early. I appreciate the international audience that we have and the patience that they've had with us. We had a little technical difficulty at first, but that's okay. That's what happens when we're live streaming across different nations and such. So don't be concerned about that. I'm not concerned about it. Check out the Telegram channel. And if you know of anyone that you think that this type of message would benefit, feel free to tell them about what's going on and share the Telegram channel with them. As Malcolm said, if you come every single time and you show up and you have some dedication towards this process, we have things that we want to share with you. And they are special things and they will help to accelerate your progress. I can't speak enough about it. It's getting close to 10:30 now. That's about our 90-minute time period. We're trying to keep it, you know, within our constraints. I appreciate Malcolm's time, and I appreciate everyone that showed up tonight. Have a blessed evening. Have peace for yourself, and have peace for those that are around you. I can't wait for the next several days. You're going to find a true change in yourself and in your environment. And trust me, by for this coming Friday, things will be much different for you. Have a good evening, everyone. See you tomorrow. Be early.